Do not miss any of our cool videos. Subscribe to our channel for latest updates. Click on the bell icon now.
Hello everyone, this is Anup Prasad from KRSS IIT Kharagpur. Today we will learn and implement a BCD counter. For that we need to learn about binary counter. We will take the example of a 4-bit binary counter because for representing any digit we need at least 4 bits. So our counter will have the following specification mentioned in this table. It will have a asynchronous clear or reset, then it will have a load input and a count input. So whenever the clear will be high, in this example, this is a low level triggered clear, but we will design a high level triggered clear, clear or reset. So let us assume it as a high level triggered only. So if the clear option is 1 or reset is 1, then no matter what is the load or count or whatever the clock is at that time, whether it is edge triggering or level triggering, it doesn't matter. The output will be set to 0. If the clear is 0 and the load is high, and it doesn't matter what is count, we will load the data. Basically we have the parallel data coming. This is the block diagram. So we will load the data. By that I mean we can fix the state of the counter. And if it's also to 0 and count is 1, then it will count normally. And if all the inputs are 0, then it will just retain its state. It won't show any change. So now let's see the operation of this counter, how this counter works. This clear or reset is asynchronous. So here it is low level triggered, but we will design a high level triggered. So let's suppose when this is 0, all the output bits will be set to 0, that is state will be 0 0 0 0. Now let's suppose when it is 1 and load is 0, count is 1. So if the load is 0, all the inputs to this AND gate will be 0, and this line will be 1, and this line is input to all these OR gates, this OR gate. So this will make this J and K input 1. So at the and we know that in case of JK flip-flops, whenever both the input is high, then output toggles. So let's suppose the initial state is 0 0 0 0, and it will change it to 1. Now when this will change to 1, this input will go to this AND gate, and this count was already high. This will make this AND gate as high, and then this both OR gate will also give 1 change, and it will change this JK value to 1. And at the next step, when the next clock event will occur, it will toggle to 0 and it will toggle to 1. And again similarly, then since A0 is 0, this will again become 0, this will be 0 0. So since both of them are 0, J and K will be 0, then it will retain the state. So in the same way, this A0 will toggle at every clock cycle, every clock event. A1 will trigger after once the A0 is triggered, like every 2 times triggering of A0. So whenever this will go from 1 to 0. And similarly A2 will also trigger when this goes to 1 to 0. And similarly for A3. And when all of them are 1, then this so that is the max value a counter, this 4-bit counter can have. So this will give the carry out. This is when we have the count is 1 and load is 0. Now let's see when count is 0 and load is 1, what happens. Let's suppose we want to load a data that is 1010. So when load is 1, it forces or whatever, like count maybe 0 or 1. This point will be 0, this node will be 0, and it will force this AND gate to be 0, AND gate output to be 0, and count will be suppressed. So the load function will dominate, and all this input, this line will be high. So now we have to load this data. This AND gate output will be 1 because both of the inputs are 1, and this AND gate output will be 0 because both of the one is high and one is like, this inverter will toggle this input and it will create 0. So this one will be given the input to J, and this will come to K, and it will set it. Similarly in this case, uh, the first, this AND gate will this AND gate will give the output as 0 because I1 is 0, and it will toggle the it is not I1, no, I1 bar. So this AND gate will give output as 1, and it will set K as 1 and J as 0, and it is a reset condition. So like JK flip-flop, in case of J is 0 and K is 1 equal, then output changes to 0, and if J is 1, K is 0, then output changes to 1. So A1 will be 0. Similarly A2 will be 1 and A3 will be 1. So this is how this counter works. This is the overall function, overall working of this counter. Now let's see the HDL implementation, that is Verilog implementation of this counter. Okay, so as I told you that we will be designing a counter with high, like reset, high level triggered reset. So whenever the reset is like always at the clock event, or and the reset is asynchronous, so whenever the reset event occurs, if there is a reset event, then output will be set to 0. Else if there is load event, the output will be set to the data input. And else if the count is if we have the count event, then we will begin the counting. Now I told you that we will design only a BCD counter, so in that case the maximum value we can have is 9. After that we have to reset. So whenever the count becomes maximum, we will set it to 0, and we will toggle the like we will set the carry output, that is this C out. So here I am using next for that, so we will change that value. So this is and if the condition is not satisfied, it will keep on counting. So yeah, I think there is some error in this. No, so yeah, so it will count, and if none of the condition is satisfied, then it will retain the value. Yeah, so the code is correct. Now since the FPGA which I am using have an internal clock frequency of 50 megahertz, so we won't be able to see the change, see the count at that fast, that high frequency. So for that I have created another module to lower down the frequency. I have pre-scaled the value by 25,000, so the clock frequency will be 0.5 seconds. So this is the new clock, which is 0.5 which is of the duration 0.5 seconds. One more thing I wanted to tell you, like I may have used a case statement rather than using if else, but since we wanted like we had a priority, reset has the highest priority, then load and then count has the least priority, so that's why we are using if else. By using if else, it generates a multiplexer, which like it will generate a multiplexer, 2 cross 1 multiplexer, and the output, let me tell you how it generates the HDL part. Synthesis machine takes like read this if else condition, and it will generate a 2 cross 1 multiplexer, and here will be the if statement, here will be the else if. Now this output will go to this one. No, sorry. Here will be the if, here will be the else if, and here will be the else. So this is the highest priority. Then after that, these are the priority options. So that's why we have used if else. In case statement, it just creates a normal 4 cross 2 multiplexer, and we don't need that. So that's why I am using if else. Now I have combined all the module in a top module, and I also made the constraint files. This is for the Spartan 6 family. You can see the data sheet and uh, make this constraint files according, like, you can see the data sheet and get the pin configuration of your FPGA board and then make this file. Now let's synthesize this code. Implement design. Generate programming file, and then we'll program our FPGA. All these steps are shown in the last video. If you haven't seen that, you can see it. It's about binary controller, a BCD controller. That's also a very interesting thing. You can have a look on that video as well. Select the .bit file and program it. So now I have downloaded the .bit file on my FPGA. So let's test it. I am setting the count bit as high. It starts counting. Once it reaches 9, it will automatically go to 0. Here it goes. Let me load the data. So before setting the load bit high, let me set the data. I am loading 6, so 0110 is 6. Now I am setting the load bit high, then it's set it to 6, and now again I am setting this load bit to low, so it will start counting from 6. And let's suppose I am setting a reset bit high. So I told you that it is asynchronous, so it will set it to 0 immediately. So yeah, it sets it, and then again it will start counting from 0. And by setting all 3 bits as 0, there is no change. So this is all about BCD counter. Now since I made it for only 1 digit, you may try it for 2 digit, 3 digit or 4 digit. So try it on your own. All the best.